All right, so I was just going to do this sort of like recap kind of docu-journal thing of some music that I was writing or working on. So around, I think, July, I had started to decide to kind of like practice production. And so I did a sort of daily or sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, I would just like write a quick tune, 1 minute or something. And I had a bunch of elements that I would always use. So I always use like the same drum loop and stuff and the same synth, and then I would slowly change things a bit. But yeah, it was all right. I did notice that like I got better at some stuff, and I sort of honed in on things over time, and then so this was July, so I'm just recapping July for now. So I'm just gonna listen through, check out the progression, and then August hasn't been quite as productive, but I'm hoping to get this video done and then get back on track with all that. So we'll start at the beginning. So this is Laser Beats. These are just random titles, but let's check it out. Let's see. Okay, so this is all Serum. One bass, one drum loop. That's the criteria. Okay. A lot of them are kind of boring. We're not going to listen to the whole thing. But so if I recall, the Serum patch is using it changes over time, so we'll go through the changes. So we started with Serum, and I was using that kilohertz table filter. That's got that, and this is all in Bitwig. We can actually load some of these, I guess, just to look. Just do a quick look. Let's see if we can. What am I looking for? Recent projects. We're gonna have to open that. Let's go here. Laser Beats. So let's just take a look. Take a look. We won't do this with all these. Okay, so here we go. This is the whole thing. Bass and drums. Pretty boring. The bass. Oh, here, let's turn on the audio engine. I don't know if we're going to hear this. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we got Serum. Using these wave. These are actually using the pseudoform icon. You can actually see there's the beginning of the circle. And there's more, yeah, so that's the pseudoform icon actually I used for the wavetable in Serum. And then it's kind of neat. Yeah, and then it's using this kilohertz wavetable. And you can see right here, there's that. Okay. And then on the drums, I'm using Spec Ops a lot. I like this plugin. I use it quite a bit. So it gives you automating the freeze. And that's most of it, really. That's most of it. Well, it jumps up the tempo a bit. That's really most of it. Start adding a layer or something. But yeah, actually, I think I did this in the airport. That's when I was heading out to BC. So I was just doing that at the airport one day. Anyways, what's next? Okay, same loop. Okay, and here we got Spec Ops on the drums. Not much going on there. Okay, some pitch modulation. I think I was using so basically every time I was like trying to not do too much but do like one new thing. So I think I was using like the macros on the LFO amount, so like there was no pitch modulation, and then you turn up the macro and then that LFO on the pitch would come in. Just little things. Okay, next. Okay, a little bit of modulation on the intro on the bass. I think we're using the table filter again on the bass. Simple stuff. I think with this one I started having a couple sends for reverb, and I was like making automation clips. And then I was also probably adding like spec ops or maybe effectrix on those sends too a little bit. The drums are actually kind of neat. Bass is mixed too low. Whatever. You know, it's there if you want it. Okay, what's this? This one's kind of neat because it sounds like the bass is going down a half step, but it's actually modulating the phase of the oscillator of the wavetable. So because the phase is getting modulated, and it's basically making the effect of sounding like the pitch is changing, just because the points in the waveform are getting closer together sometimes or farther apart. Yeah, pretty simple. So there's just one tone there. It's going to be the same drum loop. Okay. Here in this tune, I started getting into affecting the drum sampler and like adding automation to like the play position and stuff. Okay, getting into the drums a bit. Pretty simple stuff. All right, what's this? This one's pretty boring. Whatever. That was the third one that day, so whatever. Cut myself some slack. All right, what do we got here? Okay. Oh yeah, and one of the restrictions was like no bass lines. You only get one tone. Kind of thing. You can modulate the bass, you can do whatever, but it's all single tone. For a while, it changes. Yeah, I don't remember this. It's all right, whatever. You know, whatever. What's this one? Let's jump up. Jump up a bit. Yeah, kind of race car driver kind of stuff. There was a couple beats before this too, actually. I think part of that series. Yeah, this was actually the very beginning. Forward motion and lasers. And what's this? Let's listen to this quick. I like this one. This was the beginning of it. Wait, not that one. This one. Jumping around all over the place. Okay, and then this one. I liked this one. This one was good. And we'll jump ahead. It's a good beat. Okay. Anyways, that was kind of where we started. Oh, back to here. Okay, so what do we got here? Got a little bit of bounce to it. And I think it does. I started chopping it up a bit around here, so we'll just let it play for a second. Halftime. Yeah, so you can see it's starting to get a little more loose. You know, I'm getting better at making these monotonous basses kind of like move around a bit. Yeah, not my best. That was the second one that day. Anyways, what's this one? I remember this. Good space. Oh, extra sound. Pretty straight up. Anyways, that again goes to halftime here. Okay. Big roller. Hear what this does. It's all 220. Everything's 220 BPM. I think I got into chopping a little bit in this one. More of the same. This one's got a bit more of a riff to it. Let's hear what it does. So this is where I started getting into trying to do more stuff with Serum just as it was. So here, let's load that one up. And what's that called? Cyberfunk. And this is where I started using the MPE. And I'm pretty sure, or yeah, there's the bass. Oh, I was using some pitch bend. Is that all pitch bend? I thought I started using the MPE. Maybe that was a few. Okay, so this is all pitch, just sending pitch bend. But then I started using the MPE a few days after this, and which is super cool. The MPE, the multi timbral pitch expressions. Yeah, there's nothing there yet. So, anyways, next, jungle funk. Let's skip this. Kind of a chopping exercise a little bit. Pretty straight up. Maybe a little change here. So this is where I was trying to use pitch bend and stuff and just trying to get the basses moving, but it was a little bit laborious. So yeah, I think over here we'll start seeing gets a little better. So what do we got here? This is okay. So let's just check this one out quick. Let's open neurofunk. It's not even neurofunk, but whatever. You give them names and you move on. So let's open that. What's all this? So no, we're doing all pitch bend on there. See what? Well, it's not too bad. Well, and the thing is sorry. Bitwig has you can use these clips to do your automation, which is great. But what ends up happening is you can't do selections. See, if it's not a clip, you can go like this, and you can see how you can do that and move a segment. So which is great because then you could go like that. And you could draw. But as soon as you make a clip, you can't do that anymore. I think it's a bug. And see, I can't grab that. So it kind of made. Well, you can make a clip, move it, remove the clip. There you go. But anyways, that's a lot of sort of, dots, a lot of dots. Anyways, moving on, listening. Let's jump ahead. But you can see, trying to move all these things around. So you can hear it's getting better, right? That's 10 days in. Also, you can see we're getting a little more fluid. Silly. Okay. So, and that's mostly this. Oh, actually, should look at the automation. A couple drum tracks, 3 drum tracks, 1 bass track. And, just keep it simple. But you can hear, it does start to pay off. I don't remember this one. 1 bass, 1 drum. Starting it with halftime. It's all right. Gonna do that for the whole time. Little pitch bend stuff. Okay. Is funkier, is funkier. This is a good one. It's a good riff. So now I started honing in. Before I was like doing halftime and stuff, and then so around here I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make a 220 BPM breakcore speed jungle thing with 1 bass for a while, and yeah. So that's where this was. And then I did a second version of that later on, same day. Well, let's just check out the riff. Better. Okay. And then it goes to halftime. Then this is the second version. I think I just added. Yeah. I did a bunch of renders through like a glitch effect and add them in. It wasn't that great. And then, oh yeah, but we can look at that. So this is that tune. And this is where I was starting to get, I think, into the pitch expression. Still not even. No, so what is this all still pitch bend in the, yeah, it's all still pitch bend in there. I'll turn that on. Oh yeah, so that's the next tune. That's, what is that? That's Is Funky. Yeah, so Is Funky is the same day. Another, these are just simple riffs. But, simple riffs, nothing wrong with that. And I think there's another riff here or something. Okay. Is more funky. Doesn't sound too funky yet. Jump ahead. This is kind of Inspector Gadget-y kind of thing. But you can hear, big improvement since up here. here getting a little looser, right? I like this one. This is a good riff. I redid this one or something. Good riff. All right. Oh, this one's kind of like a 80s kind of Tron kind of vibe. Start using some effects. What was this? Refresh. So we had a fresh start, and this is a fresh start. Let's try this. Oh yeah. So I took the same riff, I guess. I don't know. Let's hear what we got. Oh yeah. I put this one on Facebook or something. This one is from being here on my computer. These are all on my laptop, all these, and this is on my home computer. And I took this project and put it in the computer. So this was on the laptop. This is, we just skipped the other one. Anyway, good riff. Good riff. Let's hear it. Okay. And by here, I was getting into the pitch. There's all your pitch stuff. And then what ended up happening, yeah, I was working on the pitch stuff, and then, so that's all one synth. There's those like little keyboard kind of chirps somewhere. Anyways, and then over here I stopped using Serum because I was not getting, see, I was trying to do all this modulation and these nice sharp changes, and then what I found out in this one was that like these were getting smoothed in Serum when you try to like move the wavetable and stuff, or the warp, if you did that. So you have to use Serum's own modulation if you want really like crisp modulations. It's fine for doing like smooth stuff, but if you want really crisp stuff, it's got to be done with Serum's internal modulators. So around here, I started realizing that that wasn't going to work. So I stopped using Serum after here for a bit, and then I've gone back to Serum. But all these are with Polymer, I think, after this. In Bitwig, because in Bitwig you can use automation and it's control rate, whereas if you're doing this, if you're sending this modulation to Serum as automation, it's sample rate, 48,000 times a second, whatever. And but yeah, if you got Bitwig native synth, then it's going to be at control rate, these things, so they're nice and crisp. But the synths are, Serum's like a killer synth, so I went back to it. Anyways, moving on. Oh, then here I started saying, okay, I'm gonna like use a third instrument. It's all right. It's like a whatever. We'll have a listen. So the whole thing is just about having a few elements and trying to really like control them and manipulate them and just you know, not have a lot of stuff, but use a few things in a lot of different ways and keep track of it all and stuff. What do we got here? Oh, this one, I kind of experimented with some sampler stuff, which was kind of cool. Doesn't sound that great, but it's good to know about. This is where I started using polymer. You can hear the bass isn't nearly as good anymore. Yeah, I haven't heard this beat before. Okay. Okay. What do we got here? So this is all polymer. I did an intro with this one. Jump ahead. I'll start using effects on the drums. So same drum loop. You know, so you can hear things moving ahead. Anyways. It's going to change up here, I think. Whatever, it's all right. You know, but you can hear things, you know, little bits of progression. What do we got here? Oh, I started letting myself use a pad. Got some chords. So, you know, moving forward. And those are actually chords. It's worth going and getting those chords again. Those are nice chords. Sevens. Is this in 7? I don't know. Made some sort of intro. What do we got? Okay, so this one's from 7. So you can hear I was like, these past couples, like I was trying to get some like harmony going again. Started getting a little bored of just like a single tone forever. Oh, and this is all polymer too with a different bass, so. So this is, I was home back in Ontario by this time, so now I'm back at my other computer and I kind of lost my flow a bit. But yeah, that was, oh well, we might as well check out all of July anyway. What do we got? Minor arps. So I kind of on a different angle now. It used to be a bass and drums, and now I'm just like, BC trip is over, so whatever. And then what's this? This is kind of garbage. Anyways, what's this neuro trash? Yeah, so this is when I was basically home, all this stuff, and I kind of lost my flow a bit. But Honestly, in a bit of a mood that day. I started working on Minuet in G. I'll get back to that sometime. What's this? That's kind of junk. And that was the end of the month. So that was July. And you know, it's worth it. I'm not going to do that forever, but you can hear, well, I'm kind of a bit new to Bitwig, so it was good to get some stuff figured out in Bitwig and just refine stuff. And then I was doing kind of other tunes and stuff too. So like this is kind of like practice, like sit down and practice guitar or something. It's like, and then it's all there. There's some good ideas there that you can follow up on, but I sort of have like other tunes that I'm more focused on at the same time. But it's a good way. It's a good way to like keep pushing forward, do new stuff. It's like low investment, and you know, see what you come up with. Then it's there for the future. It's nice to listen back to. You have like sort of like a journal of that time too. So check out August. August hasn't been quite as productive on that end of things, but maybe now that I finally finished this video, we'll start getting back into it. All right, thanks for stopping by. See you soon.